Hi guys, it's Tony Maritato. So I've been on a screencast kick all morning, um, doing little tutorial videos, and this one's for Ben and the guys at UpDoc. I'm just going to show you real quick how to look up the Medicare fee schedule. So when you're talking about salary negotiations, wondering what reimbursement is like, certainly Medicare is not representative of all the payers, but I'd say they're pretty much dead center to the high end, at least in Ohio and Florida. So let me get on my screen and I'll show you what I'm looking at. And actually, I'll show you how to get here. I'm going to take it from scratch. So if you come in and you do CMS Physician Fee Schedule, you do a Google search, it'll take you to the cms.gov page. You get to the link, and then this will take you right in here. There's a Physician Fee Schedule lookup, and then we click on Medicare Fee Schedule lookup tool. Now right here in the middle, search. And so for most of what you're looking for pricing information. Just do single codes just so we can find it quickly. If you're going by state, I tend to go by MAC provider. Just so you know what MAC is, let me see if I can look it up again. MAC. Medicare Administrative Contractor. And so in other words, I think it's Florida, First Coast maybe in Florida. They're basically an intermediary that comes in and manages the providers for CMS. So back in here, sorry, there's a little lag on my screen because I'm going through a server. So if I'm going to look up the allowed amount for therapeutic exercise, I'll just go down here, choose all modifiers, state of Florida. I hit submit, and what it tells me, it gives me a description, so therapeutic exercise. Now the reason why there's 3 here is because Florida is broken up into 3 sections, 3 regions. So your non-facility price, facility price. If you're a participating provider, it's the facility price. Your limiting charge, if I remember correctly, is a non-participating provider who is registered can charge higher than the allowed amount. But anyway, if you're a participating provider with Medicare, you're going to get reimbursed a percentage of the facility price. And so, just so we can compare, so let's say in this first one, we're looking at $33.90. Medicare will pay 80% of that on the, and there's a little more to it in terms of number of units, and there's a value because they reduce reimbursement on subsequent units, subsequent CPT codes. So let's say I change this to manual. Let's say you're more of a manual therapist, you do more manual. We're still in Florida. So it comes down to 3109. The last one was 33 something. So manual allowed amount is lower than the Therex allowed amount. If you're doing more neuro rehab, we'll do a quick search here, and then I'll just jump on another state just for comparison. Neuro rehab jumps up to 35, higher than therapeutic exercise. Let's do one more. 530, looking at therapeutic activity. And I will say for newer grads, there should be a progression in your coding where maybe in first couple sessions, treatments, you're focused on therapeutic exercise, maybe manual therapy to reduce pain and improve function. And then you progress to more therapeutic exercise to increase strength and range of motion. Whereas closer to discharge, the level of treatment increases in terms of complexity and your goal, and so now you're doing therapeutic activity. And so what you would see is that the reimbursement increases with complexity in what the service is that you're providing. So, back to therapeutic exercise was 33 something, this is 36 something, therapeutic activity. Last one, let's jump to, so Florida was my home state, but I currently reside in Ohio. And so if I jump to Ohio, the price changes from 36 back down to 33. Thank you very much, Ohio. It doesn't seem like a lot, 36 to 33, but it's a little over or around a 10% difference. Let me see real quick what therapeutic exercise is in Ohio in terms of the allowed amount. 31, from 33 something to 31 something. So when you're calculating your production value, how much revenue you can generate, if you take an allowed amount like this, let me see if I can do this real quick. I'll just do it right here. And we say, $31 times 4 units an hour times, I'm going to say 35 hours a week, and I'll explain why. Your production value could be as high as 4340 times 49 weeks a year. That puts you at about a max production, 100% efficiency at a little over $200,000. So I don't know, it's tough. I mean, if we're looking at 50 to 55% of your revenue production going to overhead costs and maybe a third to 40% left to cover your salary. There's not a lot of profit margin built into that, so just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, any thoughts, certainly you can do exactly the same thing with the Medicaid fee schedule. They're all public information. You can look them up. They're going to be at the lower end of the reimbursement. Workers' comp is probably going to be at the highest end of the reimbursement. So if you're going into applying for a job where they do mostly workers' comp, you've got a much, much higher level of revenue production capability than if you're going into a clinic that's doing a lot of Medicare, and definitely going into a clinic that does a lot of Medicaid. So these are all factors to keep in mind. Hope this helped. If you have any other specific questions, please comment or leave me a message below. Thanks.